Welcome to the GeoTalk podcast, where we discuss civil, environmental, and geotechnical engineering, geosynthetics, and other issues related to infrastructure. I'm Chris Kelsey, editor of geosynthetica.net. The erosion and sediment control field, with critical input from the larger body of environmental engineering, has produced some truly innovative approaches to low-impact development, stormwater management, and public works improvements. Yet rates of adoption for newer systems lag behind the data supporting them. We talked to Auburn University's Dr. Eve Brantley about this gap. I'm here with Dr. Eve Brantley. She's an extension specialist and associate professor in the Department of Crop, Soil, and Environmental Sciences at Auburn University. Eve, thank you for being here.
Thanks for the invitation.
Now, you've spoken on successes in stormwater management, but you're also highlighting how the adoption rates for these systems is perhaps slower than we might expect, and that there are a number of things we can do to improve that success rate and the successful adoption.
Right.
Let's start, though, with what are we getting right? Where are we succeeding?
Where I think we're succeeding, Chris, is in research and in product development. I think that there has been a lot of really strong science put into understanding what we need to do, targeted pollutants, looking at developing models that help us expect and understand where we need to go and what will be the most effective. And again, product development. This entire conference, I think, shows that there's a lot of opportunity to implement some of the different technologies. And so there's a lot out there that's available to be implemented.
Sure. Where can we have greater impact?
Well, I mean, as we discussed, adoption rates aren't as high as I think many of us would like. And I think it gets back to, although the research is there and there is some sharing of that information, and there are communities who are doing an amazing job of implementing and sharing lessons learned and letting folks know how they would do it differently now. We've really got to continue to focus on that education. And education and demonstration, I think, will be the keys to getting more and more communities to see it doesn't have to be a regulatory approach. It can be innovative stormwater management, good erosion sediment control. This is more about quality of life and what I think the public is more and more expecting and requesting.
Okay. Now, you mentioned education being part of it. How do you design an effective education program?
Oh, that's a great question, because you can have education that touches no one. Yeah. And then at that point, why bother? Yeah. Effective education programs have several common elements, and one of the most important ones is, what is your message? And then you really need to understand who your audience is. Yeah. We've got plenty of audiences out there. Water touches everyone. And because of that, I think the plentiful water in many of the communities we have, it's not necessarily a priority until there's a problem. Mm-hmm. So trying to be proactive, knowing who your audiences are, whether it's elected officials, the profession, professionals within the industry of stormwater, stormwater resource managers, local watershed groups. Each of these stakeholder audiences has an interest. And I think after you know your audience, thinking about how can we reach them most effectively? What are their motivations? Mm-hmm. What is it that has them concerned or would get them excited, hopefully in a good way, inspired to be open to change or to considering something different? So knowing your audience, understanding a little bit of their motivations and perceptions about water helps us then to tailor the message. We may have the same overall goal, clean water, but tailoring our message so that we reach those folks effectively through workshops, that meaningful hands-on technology transfer, innovative websites, things that grab people's attention and have them tune in and actually read. One-on-one contact with people would be outstanding. Yeah. But there's too much to say and too many people to reach. So I think we need to continue to use social media. And, while I'm just talk about education and engagement and involvement, I think being persistent is something we've really got to. We have to embrace that it's okay to say, here's a wonderful project, get it out there, and then come back in 6 months and say, I don't know if you remember, but here's a really great project. That persistence of making sure that you are bragging on what has already been accomplished so that you can build that momentum, build that energy and enthusiasm so that we can continue to put good projects in the ground and share the why we're doing them along with the how.
Do you see, from the engineering school side and, with agronomists in training and such, is communication strategies stressed in those programs more now?
What a great point. I think when you talk to, when we've had opportunities to talk to folks who are looking for students, hiring professionals, and we ask them, where do you want us to focus our university programs? Where are we lacking? More often than not, it is, I need your graduates to have excellent communication skills and to be able to understand the importance of working with diverse audiences and synthesizing information. Because, we do a lot in these different professions and trainings to develop students who are very knowledgeable. But it's so critical to be able to, in 3 minutes, describe a problem, talk about your suggested solution, and then request input. You're right. I think across the board, universities and colleges are looking at how can we equip our students to be effective communicators as well as excellent number crunchers and soils and plants. We can predict soils, plants, and water, but getting to work with people and understand how to predict people is really important.
So how is that being utilized out of Auburn now? What are you doing there to help the next generation?
As an extension specialist, our programs are built on science base. We need that underpinning so that we are promoting good science to affect behavior change or considerations of policy. Performing that research and conducting that research gives us that information that we can then share with not only our fellow extension colleagues, but with some of those stormwater professionals who are having to make these hard decisions. Then being able to point back to research that's done at Auburn or any university to say, this is valuable. And what I'm saying has legitimacy and credibility because it's not just my personal feeling, or it's not an industry that's saying, I want you to buy this product because I want to make money. I think capitalism is a noble thing. And what we want to do is support research so that there can be better technologies discovered, better products put together and put into the ground the correct way from planning, design, implementation, and maintenance. Right. So I think that science-based is so important, and especially as we move forward with building that legitimacy and credibility.
Agreed.
That good.
Dr. Eve Brantley, thank you for sharing your time with us.
Oh, I really appreciate the opportunity. Thanks.
You can learn more about the stormwater and low-impact development work of Dr. Brantley and her colleagues in the College of Agriculture at Auburn University online at agriculture.auburn.edu/stormwater. We've got additional links for you, recommendations from Dr. Brantley, on Geosynthetica. These links include the Alabama Cooperative Extension System's free publication, Planning for Stormwater. Visit geosynthetica.net and click on the Media tab for podcast links, contacts, and resources affiliated with each GeoTalk episode. Thanks for listening.